Hi everyone and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and this is our weekly TV news video that we do weekly.
We do that, yeah.
Weekly, yeah. Yeah, weekly.
More or less.
Yeah, stuff happened again this week. I feel like for the last 5 weeks, there's been a good, 3 or 4 new shows every week to talk about and say, oh, this has been announced to be in development. This has been announced to get
It
picked up
hasn't
in
happened
development.
again, has it?
One, two, three, kind of four.
I have kind of four.
Well,
Let's start with that one. I want to know what the kind of is.
there's a couple of things before we get to the shows, the new shows.
Fine.
I always put the other stuff first now. It's become such a regular thing. I now have a structure based on the fact that there's always some new shows. But yeah,
That's ridiculous.
yeah, we are almost cancelled. By the way, I don't think did I say that? Did I say welcome to almost cancelled? I think I did. Yeah,
I feel like you did.
my mind's playing with me. It's late. It's Friday night. It's past midnight, and we're you
I'd
know
rather be doing something. Well, I'd rather be doing something.
well, Connor doesn't even want to be here, so I hope that's put you in a good mood for the rest of this video. I hope he's made you feel welcomed.
To be fair, there's something I'd rather be doing is sleeping for work in the morning.
Ah, pish
Aye.
posh. Anyway, so let's get into some news. First things first, very quickly. Atlanta has been renewed for season 2 at FX. It'll happen 2017, as you'd expect. Another 10 episodes like the first season. They also renewed Better Things, which was sort of the paired
Companion,
show
yeah.
that went up with it. We never covered that one though. But yeah, so that's renewed. So if you're enjoying Atlanta, good news for you. Next thing, this next thing actually broke like a minute after we were finished recording the news last week. I almost forgot to put it in because it felt like, oh, that's old. We talked about that, right? But we didn't
Yeah.
because it was right after the show. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who of course we just watched in the first season, probably the only season of Brain Dead, over the summer, she has been cast for season 3 of Fargo. She is joining Ewan McGregor in the third season. Remember, he's playing two brothers. He's playing two roles in season 3. This one's set almost present day. It's not quite present day. It's a couple of years ago, I think, but it's the closest to present day.
Yeah.
Out of
Does
the
remind
three.
me I need to watch season 1 though.
Actually,
Season 1 was
Season 1 was maybe 5 years in the past or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
yeah.
It's been over a year since I watched that now, but I remember it being like 2006 or something like that. But yeah, so she's joining season 3 of Fargo, and she will play Nikki Swango.
What a name.
Yeah, it's a fun name. She is a crafty and alluring recent parolee with a passion for competitive bridge playing. Nikki is a woman with a plan, focused on always being at least one move ahead of her opponents.
I thought you couldn't start playing bridge till you were at least 60.
And even then, I didn't think it was competitive. I thought you'd be playing for sweets and
Pennies.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a cookie.
Yeah.
But no, apparently she's a hustler. She likes to play cards for the monies and outsmart people, which is fun. I've not seen her play this type of character before, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. I do like Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
What's not to like? And
Exactly.
Fargo season 2 was fantastic. Much better. Well, not much better, but it was better than season 1. Season 1 was good. Season 2 was like, oh, this is the best thing on right now. We were expecting True Detective season 2 to be the thing of that summer, but oh no, Fargo came in and was like, no, this is how it's done. So no, it's good news. So season 3 is shaping up. Of course, we're getting that in 2017.
Aye. Should be good.
So yeah. All right. Next up, let's get on to the shows. Then we get 4 shows to talk about, but the first one isn't completely standalone. The first one is actually related to a movie that's not even out yet.
Again. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You know about this, Connor. Why do you keep acting surprised?
Because I'd forgotten, and then that's why I went, oh, okay, because I remembered.
It's like you're pretending to be interested to reel people into the story. It's like, what? This sounds amazing. People,
It's just
come
when you
listen
go,
to this.
oh, another one attached to a movie. I was like,
Yeah, you sound like a plant.
again.
Like,
Well, I actually forgot.
there's a crowd.
It has been days since I read this news, so forgive me for it slipping through the sieve that is my mind.
All right, all right. Okay, so and I believe a strainer is what the Americans call a sieve. I could be wrong.
Hmm.
I
I
could be
did not
wrong.
know that.
I think that's my. I'm kind of half guessing, but I think I've heard them say that, and it sounds like that's what a sieve would be
I'll be
called.
honest. I think it would be more accurate to say my mind is a colander because the holes are much, much bigger than a sieve is. I feel like a lot more falls through.
It's just a hole.
Yeah, but sieves keep all the water, like they keep the small items in.
No, 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 no,
But
no. I'm saying it's not a sieve. It's not a colon. It's a hole.
oh, okay. See, I wouldn't go that far.
It's just a
The big
gaping hole.
no, this is where I disagree. The big stuff's kept in, but like all the little thoughts, they're gone. Which is why it's different to a sieve, where that keeps all the little bits and lets like just the excess go. This is no little bits keeping. They're gone. You can talk about the TV now if you want.
Gaping ginger hole. Anyway, so this is Dark Tower, the Dark Tower. They announced this on Stephen King's birthday, which was this week. So that's fun. But yeah, so I'm going to take you back because Dark Tower as a property has been in gestation forever. Like it's been in development hell for decades, basically. And even like 5 years ago, I want to say something around that time frame, there was this weird announcement where Akiva Goldsman wanted to do it as a hybrid, where it was going to be a movie trilogy, but in between the movies there'd be seasons of TV. So it'd be 3 movies and 2 seasons of TV, right? That was the plan. So movie, season, movie. And it was
Sure.
weird. It was like, what? This is bizarre. Like, you're going to do this? And
No one can make that work.
yeah. But then it seemed like it went away like, because it was in development for so long. And then they finally announced they were finally doing a movie, and they casted Idris Elba, they cast Matthew McConaughey in the roles as the good guy and the bad guy, respectively. And it was like, okay, we're getting going. This is coming out next year. It's coming in 2017. I'm looking forward to it. I've always wanted to read Dark Tower, but I've never got around to it. And it's a big long series. And
The thing for me is I want to read Dark Tower, but I want to read more King stuff first because Dark Tower connects a lot of his works.
it does. And actually, reading some of this description, I might understand how it does.
Mm.
Because
I
I
think it's
never
like
because I never really knew what it was about. I just knew there was a tower and there was like a sort of westerny sci-fi kind of
it's a
feel to
different
it.
sort of worlds thing,
There's
isn't it?
different kind of worlds.
Yeah.
And from this description, at least, what I get from it is that both the good character and the bad character are hunting for the tower, which connects their realm to ours.
Right.
And because I know that Stephen King has a cameo in the book, like he actually writes himself into it at one point,
Mhm.
and I'm guessing now that's how that happens is that because it is connected to our world. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's room for like meta fun like that. But anyway, so they've announced this on his birthday that they are developing a season of TV. The MRC and Sony Pictures have committed to not only just doing a pilot, but a full run of 10 to 13 episodes. Right? They're not settled on what number, but between 10 and 13. And that all depends on the scripts and just how it develops. And like,
Yeah.
okay, if this is 10 episodes worth, it's 10 episodes worth, and so on. But anyway, so they're going to start shooting in 2017 with plans to air it in 2018, which should sync up with when the first movie is on streaming services and maybe cable and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. They don't have an actual broadcaster yet. You would think it would be cable.
I feel like what'll happen is it will be part of a package deal with the movie rights.
Probably, which is why I'm guessing Netflix. I think it'll go to Netflix, and I think they'll get the movie. They'll get the movie at the same time as they make the deal, and then they'll get the season.
I would not put it past that at all.
If not Netflix, then a similar thing elsewhere.
I can still feel Netflix getting the international rights for the show, regardless. I can see them giving the movie with the package movie rights with the TV to a cable network in the US, and then internationally for Netflix for the TV show.
Yeah, if Netflix just don't get it worldwide, which they probably will,
Yeah, that is something that Netflix don't get it worldwide.
which I think they probably will. It just makes sense because you put the movie, like you have this series and you say, oh, you need to see this movie first, technically. But hey, we've got it. Here it is. You can just watch it. It just makes sense. It's a good idea. So yeah, that's all speculation on our part. Though. Who knows where it's going to end up? It could end up. I mean, they might surprise us and put it somewhere completely we never thought of, But that would be the best guess. But anyway, so Idris Elba is confirmed to appear in the show, which is big news because it makes it feel more real and it makes it feel more like it's actually a big deal and part of the overall thing. As I understand it, some of the books are set in the past when they're much younger, and Idris Elba and one of the other characters from the movie will be there to act as framing devices, but the main story of the series will be a younger actor playing him as a teenager.
Yeah, I can't remember which book it is, but it is definitely it's a specific one they said they were adapting, and it's set at like, I think the book is kind of like a campfire tale almost, where he tells them his history.
That makes sense.
That's kind of like the framing device.
Whether or not it's just a framing device at the start and the end of the season, or if it's almost like a
narration sort of thing.
Yeah, where we see like a little bit at the start and end of each episode of like him telling a little bit more of the story. Because I mean, how much more would it cost to get Idris Elba to do a bit more voiceover work to narrate?
Yeah, it's also like I know, obviously they have to cast someone similar looking to Idris Elba, but for McConaughey's character, I believe he like changes form throughout the ages and stuff. So they can.
It's not his character that they specify.
No. Appear. In the past of the story. So in the actual, not in the framing bit where he's there, but in the past, his character, I believe, is in the book, but doesn't take the same appearance. So they can cast like literally anyone for that.
And no doubt it'll be a twist at some point. Oh, this person's actually him.
Yeah, probably.
This is as much as I really want to know, to be honest. I feel like I've learned too much from this news story that I really would have rather not knowing.
It's kind of, at the same time, it's kind of like how it's impressive you've avoided this much as it is. Was it such a popular thing already?
Sure, but like I don't need to know much more than this, though.
No, I don't either.
Like, we can leave it there, basically. So yeah, that's the news.
Wait, was there not other shows?
No, I mean that's the news of Dark Tower.
Oh, okay. When you said that's the news, I thought,
that's that news item.
You just threw me. You just went, "Oh, that's the news." I was like,
I know. No. We've got Magnum P.I. next. We're not done yet.
Magnum P.I.
Magnum P.I.
What is it with things returning?
It's a big thing right now. The networks are in love with it, especially the main networks, the non-cable ones. ABC is looking to bring back Magnum P.I. and it's going to focus on his daughter.
Of course it is.
Who will be the main character, and she is Lily Magnum, although she goes by the nickname Tommy for some reason, which I assume is just a nice little fun reference to the actor Tom Selleck. But
I bet you I can call why for that in-show reason. I'm going to place a bet now. She's a bit of a tomboy, and that's stuck as a child, and then it's stuck with her.
No, I'm going to make a.
You go one further.
I'm going to make a contradictive bet to that. Her nickname is Tommy, is because despite her name, she prefers using Tommy guns.
Okay, I'm sold.
We'll see which one ends up being closer. I feel it'll be yours, but
I feel like I'm right comparatively.
But you want me to be right.
I think I'd rather you be right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a sequel series, and Lily Magnum returns to Hawaii to take up the mantle of her father's PI firm. She and her tribal friends mix tropical beaches and speedy underbelly of international crime and modern espionage, even as she tries to unravel the mystery of the blown spy operation that ended her career in the Navy intelligence.
Does anyone want this? Was anyone asking for this? Of all the things to bring back, did anyone go, you know what I really want? I want to know Magnum P.I.
I'm all for female versions of things, right? But I do have to question this one a little bit, just because, to me, that show... Now, admittedly, I'm saying this having never watched an episode, right? I wouldn't mind checking it out. It seems like a fun, cheesy 80s show that might be fun to put on, in the afternoon when I'm
I've
doing
seen
stuff.
bits.
And I like Tom Selleck, so, it seems like, there'd be a reason to check it out.
Yeah.
But it seems to me, from just clips and just from seeing the opening intro, that show is a combination of two things. That mustache
Yeah.
and that chest hair.
You don't know she won't have those.
Come on, it's network TV. They're going to have her be as hot as possible, because that's the way this works.
That is how this works.
But
You're right.
that mustache is that show. You take away that mustache, I don't know if...
None of the 80s cheese, the Hawaii stuff. It doesn't work without the mustache.
I mean, sure, she can wear the Hawaiian shirts. That's fine. I can see her.
but
She'll wear a bikini, but she'll wear the Hawaiian shirt over the bikini. That's how she'll look, right? That'll be the promo poster right now. I'm calling it. But she needs a thing.
She'll still have the sunglasses.
And she may even wear the cap. Because you had the cap. You always had a cap on. She may even have the cap. But she needs a thing that's hers. I'm thinking bushy eyebrows.
Like Cara Delevingne style.
Yeah, like those really thick eyebrows. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I can see it.
Do you know what? I would mildly be interested in this. Not from anything they've said here, but see if they play it up like a proper cheesy 80s show. I would actually be interested in it.
That's the thing. They modernize it in the style of Rush Hour or Lethal Weapon, and I'm automatically not interested.
Or actually, I'll give you a better example. Hawaii Five-0, another cop show set in Hawaii, funnily enough.
Yeah.
The modern version of that is just this glossy modern show that's just like, it's like CSI, but in Hawaii basically. Yeah. If it's like that, I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, same.
But I'll say
but
this.
Like I said, play up the cheese.
I'll say this, though. Because of his name... Now, admittedly, we didn't exist when Hawaii Five-0 came back. We probably would have done episode 1 of that as well. But because of its name... We will do episode 1 of this when the time comes.
I'll commit to that.
And I hope it's cheesy.
I do as well.
I hope it's cheesy. And I wonder if Tom Selleck will guest star as the dad. Do you think he might? Because he's still kicking about. He's
not doing that much at the minute, is he?
Yeah. And that moustache ages gracefully.
Yeah, it's as glorious as ever.
Because he was on Friends like 10 years after Magnum P.I. and he was looking fantastic in that.
He was indeed.
It's a glorious moustache.
It is.
Oh, I've never been so jealous of facial hair in my life. That man pulls off that moustache.
That is the epitome of manly facial hair.
Oft. I don't often talk about the attractiveness of a man when I'm talking about stuff, but I'll make an exception for Tom Selleck.
This is the exception, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Selleck gets that attention. Oof.
Right, I think we've gone on long enough about Tom Selleck.
We have. Hopefully the daughter will not pale in comparison to Tom Selleck.
A lot to live up to.
Alright. Let's move on to Hulu. Oh, I miscounted.
Oh, God, don't tell me there's 5.
That was an extra one. In fact, actually, technically there's 6 because one of them's like a Joel story.
I will punch you.
I've really miscounted this. I forgot to put a break between 2 of the stories, which is why the first miscount happened, and I just remembered there that one of them was a double. So, anyway, on to Hulu. Hulu are developing a show based on... Not a book. You thought I was going to say book, because like last week or the week before
I thought you were going to say movie.
We had like 5 based on a book. But this is based on a comic book. We've returned to this well.
Oh, it's been a few months since we've heard this.
Well, maybe 5 weeks or something like that. But yeah, it's based on Postal, which is an Image book. Part of their Top Cow line.
Yeah.
And I never read it. It was one of those comic books where I thought, I might try that when I seen it in the solicits. I seen the front cover was an axe on a log or something like that. Yeah. And I thought, looks kind of interesting. I never read it. It may be good, it may be bad. I don't know.
I've heard decent things about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things though where it's never became like one of those comics that are a must read. So it's kind of just went under the radar.
Yeah. But
it exists. And it's getting made for Hulu. And it's based on the comic by Matt Hawkins, who also wrote Think Tank. And it centres on Eden. Now, Eden is not a person. Eden is a small town. It's a unique town populated and run by fugitive criminals. In Eden, everyone has a secret past, but they come here for a second chance. Redemption and the opportunity to be someone new until their past come back to haunt them. So this show is a small town where everyone is a fugitive on the run, trying to have a fresh start where they're not criminals anymore, I think.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like that. Although I wonder if it's less all criminals and all perhaps more just getting away from something to vary the stories a little bit.
Maybe. Here it says fugitives, though. I'm unclear, though. Like, because it says the word fugitive, it makes me think they've been on the run.
Yeah.
Rather than be released and go to this town.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But at the same time, I could almost see them mixing that up and having just some people who are out of prison but want to go away from everyone else. Because, you know, they've been in prison for 20, 30 years and society's kind of weird to them now and whatever. It sounds alright. It's for ideas for a show go. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a solid premise. I mean, it could go horribly wrong, but there's nothing wrong with the idea.
It could, yeah. I mean, it's got potential. It's there. Legendary TV are the ones making that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's that. So next up, we have 2 new shows coming or in development at the CW.
Okay, I don't think I've heard this.
One is from one of the people or one of the writers from, but maybe be the creator. I'm not sure. I don't know my NCIS enough to know this, but maybe you will fill me in since you have seen like 10 seasons of
You know,
NCIS.
I've seen 10 seasons, and it flashes at the end of the credits of every single episode,
Well,
and I'm still blanking on the name.
Well, maybe when I say the name, you'll spring to
go on.
life here. Michael Weatherly.
He was an actor in it. He played like one of the main characters.
Wait, what? I thought it was
Michael
a writer.
Weatherly. No,
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
He's producing it. I assumed he was a writer.
Yeah, he was the actor. He was like one of the main crew for like 10 or 11 seasons, maybe 12, maybe even 13. I don't know. But I think he did end up moving into producing the show as well. You know how a lot of them tend to do.
Yeah. He's executive producing. It doesn't actually mention if he's starring, funnily enough.
He's in another show on CBS at the minute.
That's why
he's just started up.
That's why I assumed he was the writer, because it didn't say if it had said he is producing and starring, I'd have been like, oh right, okay. So he's
No, he left NCIS maybe last year, and he's starting up another cop procedural at CBS this year.
Because it's on like season 18 at this point.
14, but you know.
Well, same difference. Once you're in the teens, who cares? It's all the same.
Yeah, it's just true.
Unless we're talking about age of consent, in which case it's not all the same. Research, people, research.
Yeah, Jesus, I got dark quick.
But yeah, the show's called, I'm not even sure how to pronounce this, Matahari.
Matahari?
Matahari, yeah. Does that mean something to you?
It does, but I don't know what. It's something I know the phrase.
Aye, Matahari.
What's it about? It might.
Well, I'll tell you. It's well, it's kind of weird if you actually recognise this, to be honest.
Why?
It's a reimagining of the life of an exotic dancer.
No, it is, because it was a film. It was a very early Hollywood's film. It had name's escaping me. I watched it in a class like a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. But yeah, an exotic dancer and notorious lover and World War I double agent. The series is currently in development, and it'll follow the brutal murder of Mata Hari's fiancée, which draws her into the game of international espionage in order to avenge his death in this sexy spy thriller. Now, it does say reimagining, which makes me think it's not set during World War One.
Yeah, probably.
It makes me think it's set in present day. You never know, but given how much it would cost to constantly be in World War One time, I'm thinking present day.
And this is CW, isn't it?
CW, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Greta Garbo movie.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's where I knew the name. I was like, I know something like that. And then he said it, was like clicked.
All right, okay.
Good movie.
All right, nice. So that's that one. How do you feel? Interested?
Yeah, I mean, CW have actually got a surprisingly decent amount of quality shows at the minute. Even the ones I'm not watching, a lot of them I hear good things.
Do you know the funny thing is, because of CW's demographic, though, I can see this. Like, this to me looks like it should be aged up a bit, whereas with CW, I know they're all going to be like 22.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a concern.
And it's going to be, hip and all that, and appealing to the kiddies, well, teenagers.
It'd be nice for them to break their demographic just once and try something a bit more out there for them and push themselves as a network.
But it's a sexy spy thriller.
Yeah, but you could say that about like James Bond movies, frankly.
Sure, but this is CW, and it says sexy spy
Yeah,
thriller.
okay, yeah, all right. I'm just trying to be optimistic.
The other show they're developing is with, and this is a big red flag for me, big warning sign, flashing lights, from Tim Kring, the creator of Heroes.
You did not need to add that on for me there.
No, just for the people at home. If they thinking, oh, that sounds okay. No. Heroes, after one season, turned to complete and utter garbage.
Got a little bit better. I mean, 4 was better than 3. And better than 2. Yes, I stuck with it all the way through.
I did not.
I did, so I can testify to that.
I tried one episode of the reboot last year.
That's all I got through of that as well, to be honest.
And that was garbage. So
I had high hopes for it because I was like, oh, maybe they learn from their mistakes and can actually, deliver the goodness that we got back in season 1. Nope,
not one bit. But anyway, so he's developing Stickman, which
I'm
he's
right back in.
Why?
Stickman, I'm in.
Does it mean something to you?
No, but just sounds amazing. I'm in.
Stickman is a female-led drama that follows an amateur documentarian who returns to her hometown to chronicle the events of her brother's murder and the following trial, which is described as a true crime series, kind of like Making a Murder, but obviously fictional.
A little bit less interested after hearing the description than the title.
I'm not done yet.
God, throw me a twist.
Through her work, the central character becomes increasingly sympathetic to the convicted killer. So she obviously doesn't think it's him. And you're not prepared for this last sentence.
I'm not. See, the problem is at the minute I'm imagining this entire show not as a TV show like a live. I'm imagining this as an animated thing, and everyone is stick people.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's not even that out there, this last sentence, but none of the rest of it.
Right, go on.
Makes me think. Like, I'm thinking this sounds kind of generic. It sounds
like a typical true crime thing.
Yeah, which is kind of weird for CW, but whatever.
And then they hit me with what?
So becomes increasingly sympathetic to the convicted killer, ultimately discovering evidence that links her brother's death to supernatural events.
Oh yes. I was in my bets. I was putting like in my head. I was putting bets on: is it time travel or supernatural? It's one or the other.
But it's just like none of that the entire time is remotely like it's all grounded in reality, and then supernatural events at the end, just tacked on there.
I'm down.
Obviously, we're going to try
I'm right back in.
I
still think it'd be better as an animated chef. Everyone's a stick man.
I have no faith in Tim Kring, so obviously we'll do episode 1 if and when it hits, but honestly I am not expecting anything but trash.
I am forced to agree, even with that gloriously wonderful title.
Stickman's not that good a title.
I don't know, it just conjures images of such great things. Things you could do with a stick person TV show.
Keep your sexual fantasies to yourself.
Hey, I did not mention anything pornographic. They're stick people. Just there's no limits. That got worse.
I'm moving on. Last on the news this week, we have a CBS show in development. Is this the what?
Half show.
The half show?
Before you were like, oh, we got like 3.5 shows.
Oh no, that was Dark Tower.
Oh, that's a full show still. That's if anything, that's like a show and more.
I didn't mean it in the sense that it was a lesser of a show. I just meant that it was connected to something we already knew about. It wasn't completely new.
I thought you meant it was like so little information that it was like it's like half a show.
Well, that's you going and thinking again with that big hole, that big gaping hole that you call a head. Anyway, CBS is developing a half-hour comedy. In fact, no, they've greenlit something for a 13-episode order. It's called Superior Donuts.
Oh, I'm definitely in.
Now, it is a comedy on CBS, which probably means laugh track.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the last comedy on CBS I liked was.
Probably How I Met Your Mother.
Probably. Doesn't bode particularly well, does it?
Now, Superior Donuts was actually piloted before and it was repiloted. So they reworked it a bit to get it to what they wanted it to be. But yeah, it's based on a play, of all things. Superior Donuts stars Judd Hirsch and Jermaine Fowler. And yeah, the series follows their relationship between a gruff owner of a small donut shop, who's played by Hirsch, and has an enterprising new young employee and their loyal patrons in a quickly gentrifying Chicago neighborhood. You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of two things. It makes me think of an old British show. What was that called? Open All Hours,
Okay.
which had young Del Boy in it and one of the Ronnies.
Aye.
And it was focused around a small shop. It also makes me think a little bit of Keenan and Kel, because they spent a lot of their time in a shop, a small store. So I'm seeing this. I can see it being a multi-camera sitcom already, where it's all set in the store. You've maybe got the floor, and you've got the back room where the stock is, and that's your two main locations.
I could see a clerk style thing.
I'm not against it. As far as ideas for sitcoms go, I actually really like stuff that's... Because so many are just set in a house with a family. Whereas this is...
It's great because it gives you a good excuse to have revolving people all the time. Obviously,
Yeah.
you've got your core, your store crew, right? Your workers.
Yeah, and you've got your regular customers, but you can also have famous guest stars who just pop in to buy a donut.
It's the easiest excuse to have guest stars ever.
Yeah, and it's all justifiable. If anything, it's actually unbelievable when some people are there far too often. Because, like, how often are you really buying donuts, Mr. Smith? Really?
I don't know. You should see the amount I buy them.
Yeah, but all from the same place?
It tends to be from Morrison's, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's a large supermarket.
That's only because it's the closest one to me, though.
But and there's I mean, don't get me wrong. If I had a dedicated donut shop nearby, I'm sure I'd abuse the crap out of it as well.
I do go when I'm in town to Dunkin' Donuts.
We don't have Dunkin' Donuts here.
We got Dunkin' Donuts and a Krispy Kreme last year.
I don't have either of them nearby.
Oh.
I have to go to a different city to get them. And
See, I'm very lucky because my Dunkin' Donuts does an offer of like you get so many donuts for a reduced price on Mondays, and it's so perfect because that happens to be Supergirl Day.
Monday's Dunkin' Donut Day. Love it.
It just coincides so perfectly with TV and life. It's like, oh, I love it.
I think this is a good idea for a sitcom. And very rarely do I feel it from a sitcom idea that I even get a sense of what it could be. Whereas with this, I have a very clear sense in my head of what it could be.
I actually think this could be very good.
My only concern is that it might just be ruined because it's CBS and they'll have laugh track. Which, don't get me wrong, I like old shows with laugh track, so I can maybe get over it in a new show as well. However, I don't even like How I Met Your Mother. So
Yeah, I loved How I Met Your Mother.
the last show on CBS that I liked, comedy-wise,
I was going to say, that's an easy answer.
was probably... No, I think that was NBC.
I feel like most of the big sitcoms were NBC.
Everybody Loves Raymond. I liked that. That was CBS.
I'm trying to think, what have they had?
And that was definitely the newest one. 'Cause that didn't end until like 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's the last comedy in CBS I liked.
I'm trying to think, what's even the most recent one? The most recent one I think I tried might have been Two Broke Girls.
Oh, I tried that. That was awful. That was...
No, I take it back. Life in Pieces from last year. I tried a few episodes of that. It was actually very good.
What you kept watching?
I didn't because things I tend to fall behind on comedies when I'm in a TV season, but it's all there for me to watch. I'm gonna get to it soon. Actually, it's been there waiting.
Okay.
It's Life in Pieces. It was like so it's like a family, and each person in the family gets a 5-minute story every episode.
All right. Well, there's this allegedly good show from last year, but otherwise, CBS and sitcoms, at least for my personal taste, has been very miss and not hit at all in a long, long time. So,
That's fair.
You know,
It's hard to argue that much.
hell, CBS in general. I mean, other than Supergirl, like,
Brain Dead.
Ah, that's true. Brain Dead. Yeah. Okay, a couple of anomalies recently, but before those two, it had been like
Yeah.
a decade at least since a CBS show that I gave a crap about. So there you go. That's the news this week. We went on a bit of a tangent there at the end about CBS because they're CBS, but there you go. That's this week's news. So let us know what you think of any of these stories. Are you excited by any of this news? Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mild_fuzz. And of course, so much new TV reviews went up this week because we're in busy season. We're in a hectic season. Just to run off what was good. Pitch was pretty good. On the comedy front, The Good Place was not bad. Speechless was surprisingly great. So check out our reviews of those if you want our sort of enthusiastic stuff there. Stuff we're not continuing because it wasn't that great includes Lethal Weapon, includes Designated Survivor, includes... Was there something else?
Which is part I'm continuing Designated Survivor because I thought it was alright.
Oh, you thought it was alright. Oh, This Is Us, which again, This Is Us wasn't bad. I should clear. This Is Us, Designated Survivor, and even to an extent Lethal Weapon. None of them were actually bad, but none of them were like...
No, none of them were great. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said, definitely none of them were bad.
It's a sort of thing where maybe come Christmas time, we could conceivably catch up on one of them if we hear, oh, this got really good over the first half of the season.
Yeah.
It's possible that it could happen. And Christmas is always the time where I actually, before I started doing these reviews on this channel, Christmas tended to be the time where I look back, like, so far at the seasons, like, okay, what's good about 10, 12 episodes in? Now that we're halfway through the seasons, now's usually a time when people can give you a good recommendation on stuff because they can see if it's, good episode to episode and whatever. That was when, back in 2004, that was when I watched the first half of season 1 of Lost. That's when I caught up. I was like, alright, I've heard things about this Lost. I'm going to watch this first 11 episodes.
It's nice because you get a few weeks off where it gives you time to catch up on stuff.
It does. Admittedly, we've already got a few catch-up things scheduled in for the Christmas season, but hey, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
But so all that stuff went up. So thanks for watching, guys. Check out stuff and all that jazz. And we'll see you next time.